Eyalets, also known as Beylibelikes or Pashaliks, were a primary administrative division of the Ottoman Empire. From 1453 to the beginning of the 19th century, the Ottoman local government was loosely structured. The empire was at first divided into provinces called eyalets, presided over by a pasha of 3 tails. The Grand Vizier was responsible for nominating all the high officers of state, both in the capital and the provinces. Between 1861 and 1866, these eyalets were abolished, and the territory was divided for administrative purposes into vilayets. The eyalets were subdivided into districts called livas or sanjaks, each of which was under the charge of a pasha of 1 tail, with the title of Miralira or Sanjak Bey. These provinces were usually called pashaliks by Europeans. The pasha was invested with powers of absolute government within his province, being the chief of both the military and financial departments, as well as police and criminal justice. At official functions, the order of precedence was Egypt, Baghdad, Abyssinia, Buda, Anatolia, Merish, and the Kapitan Pasha in Asia and Buda, Egypt, Abyssinia, Baghdad, and Rumelia in Europe, with the remainder arranged according to the chronological order of their conquest. Names. The term Eyalet is sometimes translated province or governorate. Depending on the rank of the governor, they were also sometimes known as Pashaliks, Beylibelikes, and Karpudanlikes. Pashaluk or Pashalik is the abstract word derived from Pasha, denoting the quality, office or jurisdiction of a Pasha or the territory administered by him. In European sources, the word Pashalik generally referred to the eyalets. The term Eyalet began to be applied to the largest administrative unit of the Ottoman Empire instead of Beylibelik from the 1590s onward, and it continued to be used until 1867. History. Murad I instituted the Great Division of the Sultanate into 2 Beylibelikes of Rumelia and Anatolia, in circa 1365. With the eastward expansion of Bayezid's realms in the 1390s, a third eyalet, Eyalet, came into existence, with Amasya its chief town. This became the seat of government of Bayezid's youngest son, Mehmed I, and was to remain a residence of princely governors until the 16th century. In 1395, Bayezid I executed the last Shishmanid Tsar of Bulgaria, and annexed his realm to Rumelia Eyalet. In 1461, Mehmed II expelled the last of the Isfandurid dynasty from Sinop, awarding him lands near Bursa in exchange for his hereditary territory. The Isfandurid principality became a district of Anatolia Eyalet. In 1468, Karaman Eyalet was established. Following the annexation of the formerly independent Principality of Karaman, Mehmed II appointed his son Mustafa as governor of the new Eyalet, with his seat at Konya. The 16th century saw the greatest increase in the number of eyalets, largely through the conquest of Selimi and Suleimani. A list dated 1527 shows 8 eyalets, with Egypt, Damascus, Diyarbakir and Kurdistan added to the original 4. The last eyalet, however, did not survive as an administrative entity. Suleiman's conquests in eastern Turkey, Iraq and Hungary also resulted in the creation of new eyalets. The former Principality of Dul-Qadir became the Dul-Qadir Eyalet at some time after its annexation in 1522. After the Iranian campaign of 1533–6, the new eyalets of Erzurum, Van, Sharazor and Baghdad guarded the frontier with Iran. In 1541 came the creation of Budin Eyalet from part of the Old Kingdom of Hungary. The eyalet of the archipelago was created by Suleiman I especially for Hayred and Barbarossa in 1533, by detaching districts from the shores and islands of the Aegean which had previously been part of the eyalets of Rumelia and Anatolia, and uniting them as an independent eyalet. In 1580 Bosnia, previously a district of Rumelia, became an eyalet in its own right, presumably in view of its strategically important position on the border with the Habsburgs. Similar considerations led to the creation of the Kanilya Eyalet from the districts adjoining this border fortress, which had fallen to the Ottomans in 1600. In the same period, the annexation of the Rumelian districts on the lower Danube and the Black Sea coast, and their addition to territories between the Danube and the Dniepr along the Black Sea, created the SELIBR Eyalet. At the same time, on the southeastern shore of the Black Sea, Trebizond Eyalet came into being. The purpose of this reorganization, and especially the creation of the Eyalet of Ozedi, was presumably to improve the defenses of the Black Sea ports against the Cossacks. By 1609, according to the list of ISNI, there were 32 eyalets. Some of these, such as Tripoli, Cyprus or Tunis, were the spoils of conquest. Others, however, were the products of administrative division. In 1795, the government launched a major reorganization of the provincial administration, with a law decreeing that there would be 28 provinces, each to be governed by a vizier. These were Adana, Aleppo, Anatolia, Baghdad, Basra, Bosnia, Chaldea, Crete, Damascus, Dyrbkir, Egypt, Erzurum, Habesh, Karaman, Kars, Dul-Qadir, the archipelago, Morea, Mosul, Raqqa, Rumelia, Saida, Sharazor, Silistra, Shivas, Trebizond, Tripoli, Van. In practice, however, central control remained weak, and Beylibesh continued to rule some provinces, instead of viziers. Government. The Begler-Bagiliks where the Timur system was not applied, such as Abyssinia, Algiers, Egypt, Baghdad, Basra and Lhasa, were more autonomous than the others. Instead of collecting provincial revenues through Sipahis, the Begler-Baji transferred fixed annual sums to Istanbul, known as the Saliana. By 1500, the four central eyalets of the empire, Rumelia, Anatolia, Rum and Karaman, were under direct rule. Wallachia, Moldavia and the Khanate of the Crimea, territories which Mehmed II had brought under his suzerainty, remained in the control of native dynasties tributary to the Sultan. So, too, did the Kingdom of Hungary after the Battle of Mohacs in 1526. Map. Algiers, Egypt, Habesh, Tripolitania, Tunis, Adna, Adha, Anatolia, Ankara, Dire, Ibekr, Dul-Qadir, Erzurum, Hurdavandagar, Karaman, Karasi, Kuz, Kastamonu, Rum, Trebizond, Van, Aleppo, Baghdad, Basra, Cyprus, Damascus, Lhasa, Mosul, Raqqa, Samtska, Sharazor, Sidon, Tripoli, Yemen, Adrianople, Bosnia, Budin, Crete, Gur, Herzegovina, Kanilya, Kefa, Monastir, Moria, Nisyanina, Podolia, Rumelia, Salonika, Silistra, Temesvar, Ivar, Varat, Vidin, Zagetvar. List. From the mid-14th century until the late 16th century, only one new Beylibe was established. Disappeared before 1609. The eyalets that existed before 1609 but disappeared include the following. Eyalets in 1609. Conquests of Selimaya and Suleimani in the 16th century required an increase in administrative units. By the end of the latter half of the century there were as many as 42 eyalets, as the Beylibe came to be known. The chart below shows the administrative situation as of 1609. Sources. Colin Imber. The Ottoman Empire, 1300 to 1650. The structure of power. Halil and Alsik. The Ottoman Empire. The Classical Age, 1300 to 1600. Trans. Norman Itzkowitz and Colin Imber. Donald Edgar Pitcher. An Historical Geography of the Ottoman Empire. Established 1609 to 1683. Established 1683 to 1864. Maps. Eyalets in the 17th century. 1855 Map of Turkey and Asia by Joseph Hutchins Colton. Map of European Turkey by Karl Ritter, published in 1864.